Hi, everyone, and welcome again to Pint-Sized Guilt-Free Torah. Sorry for this incredibly long hiatus. Unfortunately, Sarah and I were just knocked out with whatever this is going on. Flu, virus, combination of both, whatever it was, we've just been knocked out. And glad to be back, although I'm not fully over. But certainly, at least I'm not in danger of making anyone else sick at this point, and kind of getting back to some basic functionality. That being said, I originally started this in order to give a zchut, a merit, to the soldiers who are defending their lives, not only for the people in Israel, but for people all over the world. And 5 extra minutes of Torah a day is not going to kill anybody, and the amount of merit for every single minute that we do, every mitzvah we do, is a big deal. And so hence that's why I started it. And like everything else in life, when something goes on for a while, you kind of forget, and you don't realize perhaps as strong a relevance as it once was. An incident happened this week. We haven't spoken to our son Aaron for a while. It was like 10 days. And then he finally called. He's in the Shomron. There's been some really serious stuff going on there, stuff we read about, excuse me, in the paper. And then he verified he was part of a lot of it. And although they're sending soldiers home from Gaza, not where he is, because there are terrorists coming from other parts of the country going in there, and that's what his unit does, is to, it's called urban combat, and he goes in, discovers terrorists, discovers explosives, all kinds of other stuff, and that's what they did. An incredible thing happened this week. His unit his group went into a certain home, and what did they find? They found an ornament for a Torah scroll in the house. And so, of course, they confiscated it, and they had somebody put it out there on social media because there was a name written on this particular thing. I'll have links after this. You can see it yourself. And lo and behold, it turns out the grandson of the man who had donated this to his synagogue, that from which it was stolen in Israel, discovered. He said, "Yeah, that's my grandfather's," and he's no longer alive. And I remember getting an aliyah to the Torah myself, and seeing that particular ornament there, and so it was very emotional homecoming for this thing. So it's amazing. They're not only finding terrorists in homes, they're not only finding bombs in homes, they're actually finding stolen Jewish objects in homes. So that's a great thing. A very short word on this week's Parsha is that we start reading the book of Exodus, Shemos. And in there it says Moses. We all know the story of Moses in the side of the river. And basically we talk about it on the night of Passover. And Moses is raised in the royal house. And then one day he's told, hey, you're Jewish. And he goes out. It says that when Moses actually grew up, that's the word used, he then saw the suffering of his brethren. And that's a very interesting thing. As many commentaries point out, when he grew up, at the point that he was able to see the suffering of other people. Seeing other people suffering is not necessarily that you can unburden it, because we can't always do that. But it just means that there's a benefit and a very important Jewish idea to feel somebody else's pain to the best of your ability. So if you go to the hospital, sometimes if you're visiting somebody or somebody you're not even visiting, and you see somebody in bed who's really in a lot of pain, pause for a moment, pause for 30 seconds and think, wow, this is really awful. I really feel for this person and this person's pain, and take a little time, meditate on it for 15 to 30 seconds. That's all it takes. And there's a positive benefit in that. A kid comes home from school crying. Before deciding how to deal with the issue, first be thinking about the pain that this child must be in and how awful he or she must feel. You visit somebody at a nursing home. Think for a moment how painful it must be to be independent your whole life and then have to be commanded and told what, when, where, and how you will now live your life in a nursing home. So there's so many situations we can't fix it. We can't make the person younger. We can't make the person better. We can't, whatever the situation is, but we can feel for the person. And that's what Moses did. He felt for the people around him. So we should all be feeling for these soldiers who are on the front line, their danger, their fear, and continue to pray for them and their families, as well as the situation for Jews all over the place, some of whom are in situations that are a bit more dangerous than others. And feel for our brethren. There's something positive in it, even if you can't relieve the pain. So hope to see everybody again on a regular daily basis, and glad to be back. And I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.